Well, here we are, folks. We've had a few technical problems trying to get underway, but we're here for a round 3 match in this year's VP4 US Open, and it's between Winkatme and MofoThePat. Winkatme beat Biggs in the last round all too easily. He should have a tougher match in this one. Mofo is an old virtual pool player. Again, the same old story. Mofo doesn't get to play virtual pool very much now. Not look at the old days. But he's vastly more experienced and should be a tougher opponent for Winkatme. He's more likely to take his chances, I would expect, but we have to wait and see. So this match was scheduled to start at 19:30 GMT. We are just 10 minutes into it. Winkatme's got a 1-0 lead. Again, just to recap on the rules, it's alternate break. There are no jump queues, and there is no spot money, so that means that the 9 ball goes down in the break, it stays down and you win the rack. And Mofo's out of line here. This is the sort of thing that a lot of the other sort of lesser ranked players need to tighten up on. They need to get their positional play tightened up, because Mofo's had a good chance there and he's just blown it. So Winkatme looks as if he's going to go 2-0 up. And we will just have a quick reminder, Mofo is from the States and Winkatme is from Canada. Quick look at the stream. The stream looks good. Quick check my little doodler, make sure that's working okay. Yeah. I check these tool things, I keep forgetting what they do. I think it's for arrows and stuff like that. Yeah. Right, that's working. So Winkatme's got himself hooked. Also, just to recap, the no jump queue rule, they've been taken out in the tournament, but it doesn't mean to say that you can't jump with your playing queue, although you won't get a lot of success with it. Well, a kick safe from Winkatme. Easy kick back, might even kick this in, might kick bank it into the middle pocket if he gets it right. Oh, he's gone for the cut. Oh, that's a brave one. And he's on the 3. And I think Mofo's gone dead straight there, so he needs to get this right, because if he's going to draw back, he needs to watch the pocket. Oh, he's managed to squeeze a little angle. So here's the tester. Now the 6. Well, I'm going to say it doesn't go past the 8, so he has a problem there to start with. But the other problem's the 5. He needs a bit of luck here. And I don't think he's got it. And how's the angle there? Well, Winkatme can actually pot this. And he might be able to just draw back a little bit and try and take this 6 ball into this bottom right as we look. He's got a slight angle. It might not be an easy cut. Well, he's managed to get the most out of it. That's pretty good. Well, Mofo's had 2 chances and he's blown them. positionally, and that's what I thought would happen there. Oh, I've got a pop-up telling me there's a new GeForce graphics driver available. Well, we'll just kill that. Oh, wait a minute. I'll wait till he's come back. Well, that was caused by an NVIDIA graphics driver update popping up. Anyway, Winkatme is going to go 3-0 up, and Mofo needs to get cracking. I say, if you don't get much game time in, you're going to get found out in these tournaments. Mofo breaks off on rack number 4, and straight away he's scratched. He's also made Winkatme's life easier by sinking a couple of balls off the break. Well, we've got just me and the 2 players in the room. Well, this is a little bit tricky. He's close to the 6, but he's got a perfect angle. Just has to read that cut angle. The angle's good to come up for the 7. And Mofo can't rely on Winkatme making too many mistakes to sort of snap up these little chances with maybe a couple of balls left. He has to make things happen for himself. Well, here's another tough one, nudging the 8 towards the rail. And he's going to have to walk the cue ball as well to go on the 9. That's a good shot. Pocket weight. And he's got good, well, a reasonable position in the 9. So it's 4-0. And already we have a mini crisis here for Mofo. It's Winkatme to break in rack number 5. And he's maybe going to have to start getting a bit clever as well, rather than going all out. The all out attempts so far have failed by failing to get position. And this isn't an easy table to run either, because the 3's in a very awkward place. He can drop behind the 3 though. Once again though, he's hit it too hard. Well, he can play a good safe here. He's probably lining up for a pot, but he can play a decent safety. Where's my bottle of water went to? But it didn't end up a very good safety. He doesn't have to try and move the 6. The 6 is there for the potting, although it's behind the 9. There's plenty of room on the left hand side to get on it. He's just got to get on the 5 first though. He's played the bank, and that's perfect because the angle is ideal for coming off the bottom rail and up to the left. Well, that's gone wrong. And there's Mofo's chance. As I say, this is the type of thing that Mofo can't rely on. He's already 4-0 down. And that's the first real mistake by Winkatme. And it looks as if it's going to cost him a rack. But if Mofo relies on this happening, he's going to end up with 3 or 4 racks. And by that time, he'll already have lost the match. So he needs to make it work himself. And that's a good break. Ball goes down. The 5 ball, oh no, 3 ball. 5 balls in the right hand rail. It's off the rail, so there shouldn't be a problem with that one. The problem's going to be getting from the 2 to the 4. Because it'd be very easy to overrun and hook yourself behind. Well, that's bad. That is poor. I think he's thinking too much about position there. There was loads of room to get on the 2. Need to focus on the actual ball in question. So another one there. Open table. The chance is gone. Now Winkatme has a nice angle. He can stun across, but he has to be careful. And he's got into the gap, and that's ideal. Yeah, these old-time virtual pool players, Mofo's one of them, Cue Ball 70's another, and they're being found out as far as touch goes. It is a bit like riding a bike when you're playing virtual pool, but it takes you a little while to get back into the swing of things. Now, the question is whether they can find the gap between the 8 and the 9 here. And he's found a gap. How's his weight? Well, let's have a look. That is very tight. I don't think he can get the potting angle in that. He's going to cut that to the right rail. It looks tight. I don't know whether he can get enough of it. He maybe need to bend it a little. No, it goes just enough. What do I know? My eyes told me that he couldn't see enough of that ball. But it's 5-1. And there's still time for Mofo to get his act together. He needs to get in and run a rack. If he can do that, he's got a chance of settling down and getting into it. But we've already seen 2 or 3 chances been blown. But I think that's his only way back in it. He needs to get something. He's had one gift, but like I say, it's only one. And he's trailing 5-1. Well, the 3 goes past, no problem. And he's plenty of room to come away from the 8 ball, but he needs to get this cue ball really down into the bottom half of the table. Try and get that 4 into the middle. Oh, that's delicate, but he's got there. The percentage shot there was to get the cue ball in this bottom half, but he's played his first good positional shot. This looks reasonable enough. When he pots this 5 though, he needs to just probably try and get as straight as he can in the 6, but the angle he's got in the 5 means he's running towards a 6. That's the thing that's probably concerning him. Yeah, there's too much angle there. And he needs to come back and that'll do. Now, same thing applies with this shot. Winkatme managed to find the gap earlier on. Mofo's tried to stun across. That almost went completely wrong. He's got a delicate cut, and this looks a bit dodgy. It might need to cut back more than he thinks. Yep, he's got to get that thin. Now, where's he going? Well, that'll do it. Well, it looks simple enough. Just roll through off the end rail and up over to the right hand side. As long as you got enough weight, you'll be on the 9. Well, this is better. So, MofoThePat has got his second rack, and that's the second rack, the first rack that he's really won, and he's got a golden break, so all of a sudden he's off and running. Dry break from Winkatme. And a wee bit of safety from Mofo. Easy kick though. Oh, where's the one going? Oh, it did its best to get into that middle pocket. Now, there's a chance. If you're going to be competitive in the match, these are the type of chances you've got to try and sneak away. Well, he looks as if he's stroking a wee bit better. Finding that weight of shot, because that's what it's all about. So, get from the 7 to the 8, and that looks simple enough. Plenty of room. As long as he leaves himself a decent angle, he's going a bit straighter than he would actually like, but he's got enough. He needs to get the spin though. That'll just about do it. This is a wee tweaky one. Oh, it wiped its feet. But he's going to get home. So this to trail just by 1. So MofoThePat breaking off in rack number 10, trailing 5 racks to 4, and a couple of balls have gone in. We've lost the 4 and the 8, and he's got no shot in the 1. But again, he's got a good chance of getting this safe. I think that's gone to the point where it can't be cut. And then the more I look at it, the more I think if he really slams at this and catches a feather's edge of it, he could cut it in. Yeah. So it gets marked down as another poor safety. Didn't get there. But Winkatme now has a chance to run into that 5 and 6, and he'd be really unlucky if he didn't finish in the 3. He can split the 5 and 6 here with the angle in the 2. And that's worked out perfect. Although he might be a bit straight in the 3, he'll have to force this in as well. Lots of spin. So that little quick run of racks by Mofo has dried up, but it's been his own mistake that's caused it. Well, here's a tough one though. It might not be over yet. Well, he decided to play it long. It looked easier to cut it and just cut it with the right weight to get on the 9. And that's going to run in the wrong side of the 9, I think. Yep, he's in the top end of it, and now he's got one of these nasty cutbacks that you don't want. And it's at a point where you either go for the cutback or you go for a bank. These are not easy. Oh, he's played it well, but he's hung it up. So, a glimmer of a chance there for Mofo in that rack to square the match, but it's all gone away. So the gap goes back to 2. But we've seen enough there to suggest that, you know, if Mofo just manages to manoeuvre that cue ball, he can win racks, no doubt about it. But he needs to warm up a bit more, because by the time he is warmed up fully, he might be running out of racks. So as long as he just hangs in there, he's still got a chance. Same thing for Winkatme though. If he starts making too many more mistakes, you might find that racks start to run away from him as well. So Mofo plays the combo. Another quick rack. Oh, what happened there? He fouled. Oh, he must have hit. Well, he did. It says low ball not hit first. I wasn't paying attention there. So the 9 gets respotted. Ball in hand for Winkatme. And if he gets the right angle in this 3, he should run out. And he's gone a wee bit further for comfort here, a bit more. He had the angle, but he's run about 4 inches too far. He just has to tweak this in. A little kiss in the 4. How's his luck? His luck's pretty good. So this is taking on the pattern of the first 2 or 3 racks, because Mofo's got himself back into it there one way or another, and then it looks as if the gap's going to widen again. It's not over yet, this one, because it's a little delicate one for that 7. And he's just got there, I think. I think he can see enough to get the pot and angle. Should be comfortable. Well, this is a bit betwixt and between, because you're not really happy with running through. If he runs through, he needs a bit of right English, I think, to come up the right hand side of the 9. So he's taking the safety route. The danger was trying to do that, so the safety way of doing it is just running through and leaving it long. So it's Winkatme that goes back to a 3-rack lead, 7-4. Mofo breaking off in rack number 12, and he's broke dry, but he's left just a push out for Winkatme. Now if he pushes there, there is a chance of a pot in the 1 and a possible, and I say very, very slim possibility of a billiard onto the 9, but the problem here is the cue ball's right on the rail. He's hit the 9, he's potted a 1, which was the most important objective, but look at where the 3 ball is, and that's a great shot. Hit it with a lot of power, but he got the draw on it, but he didn't get a lot of draw on it, and the way to do that is just putting the tip of the cue ball just below the equator, so you'll get, the power will give you the draw, but it's not like you're trying to draw the cue ball all the way around the table. So that was well controlled. He's going to need another good one for this 5 though, and he didn't get into it. Oh, that's very, very delicate if he's going to try and drop that in. If you try and cut that, you could probably just cut it past the pocket. I think that's too tight. Oh, that flew in. How's he going to do in the 6 though? It's getting tougher and tougher. Always does when you start getting out of shape. But he's done well. And this is also slightly better because the 9 is closer to the top rail this time. So he's got a slightly bigger margin of error when he tries to push this 8 ball in and get the cue ball up the table. It's the same scenario though. You want to be playing the 9 from there. Less likely from here, but he's still likely to pot it though. And he's found the zone that he wants to be in. In between the red lines will do. So it's back to trailing by 2. Four ball goes in. Winkatme breaking off. 1 ball follows. And he's on the 2. And it's a little delicate drop into the middle because he can run down for the 3. Because that goes in past that 7. A little nudge in the 5 has almost done him there. You can still cut it. Are you playing the billiard? Yeah, he's playing the billiard, but then you're chancing your arm. You're relying on luck as to where the 3 ball's going to end up. And this has come off the rail. And no doubt he'll be playing a little fine cut along the rail. 8 balls on the bottom rail as well. Well, that's always a thing that can happen as well. You just get the wrong connection in the 3. But it's gone safe. Now, what's he thinking here? He's looking for cover. It's too heavy. Well, it looks like a cut or a reverse bank up past the 5. Went all out for the cut. Oh dear, look at this for luck. Well, he's blocked him off with the 9. And the angle's there to kick the 3. He's missed it. So a wee bit of the running there for Winkatme. Hanging the 3 up. Hooking Mofo in the 9. Or behind the 9, I should say. Well, I think he can pot this and just draw back for the 8 into the same pocket if he wants. He's going about it the long way around here. And this is a little dead weight shot into the bottom pocket. Or a little draw to finish in the right hand rail. Yeah. Now, how's the luck this time? Well, that is off the rail. So Mofo is going to pinch this one eventually. And it's back to 7-6. One ball goes in. He's got a shot in the 2. The 3 balls dropped into the left middle. Now, what does he do? Does he try and roll through? He's got a slight angle in the 2. Because that 4 ball is going nowhere, I don't think. He could leave a possible 4-9 combo. But the angle isn't ideal to get on it. And where's he going to go here? Oh dear. Well, he can see an edge of the 4, so he can run for cover. Try and tuck the 4 behind the 9 to get that cue ball up at the other end of the table. Oh dear, he's hit that too hard as well. Well, it's going to be a billiard in the 8. So Mofo just struggling for his weight control. I think it's going to be a billiard. Can he cut the 4 onto the 8? I think he can even do that. Yep, he can see enough of it. But that 8 ball is on the jaw, so that isn't guaranteed to go in unless he hits it sweet. He has to cut that 4 onto the 8, and that's what happens when he got it full in the face. He just punched 8 around the angles. So, another chance. This is better. He's finished absolutely perfect in the 5. Just drop it in. You don't need to let the cue ball run. And he's let it run, and that's poor. That is really bad. He just needed to drop it in. There was no danger of him hooking himself behind the 9. Not if he just dropped that 5 ball in dead weight. So now all he's got is a safety. Well, he's went for the bank. And he should have went for the safety. He should have just cut that 6 along to the 9. I think he felt he had to go for that 6 after such a poor positional shot. So a chance is gone again for Mofo by the looks of it. But this is going to need a bit of power. Your choice is play the draw or go forward and around the angles. He's playing the big draw. Needs to watch the scratch though. So he's missed the middle pocket and he's not got enough into it. And he's left with the bank. And it looks a dead on bank this. Either into the bottom left or double bank into the top left. But it looks as if he can't miss it. And it's going to double bank. Again, it's just gone back to 2 racks. Mofo can't get himself back onto par. And Winkatme's broke off. Ball's gone down. Now, well, he can play a little delicate feather off the edge of that one and just nudge the 6 in. So Winkatme already is halfway home and looking like he's going to open the gap to 3 racks again. Well, this is a little tester again. Always that little doubt in your mind when you're making these cuts. And he's got there. So here's the crucial one. This is the one that can go wrong. If he plays the same shot as he did earlier on, he can play the draw. He needs to get past the 9 ball though. And this time he's made sure he got there, but he's going to have to either drop this in dead weight or run around the table, because the cue ball wants to run away when he's making this cut. So he's playing it dead weight and he's held for the 9, and this rack's all over. So 9, 6 and MofoThePat breaking off in rack number 16. And no joy. And it's going to be the 1-7 for Winkatme to start off. And the 1 has stayed in play. That was never guaranteed the 1 was going to stay there. He's the wrong angle on the 1. But he's managed to force his way through. Even a little nudge in the 9 helped him there. Now, just a mention about one of the matches that I had intended to stream, the round 2 match between the current champion Mal255 and Yamaguchi Taru, which was due to be played during the week, midweek there at 2 PM GMT, and Mal didn't turn up for the match. And I managed to have a word with him on Facebook yesterday to double check he was okay, nothing had happened. And when I said we were all wondering where Mal had got to when he didn't show up for the match, his reply was he didn't realise that Yamaguchi Taru had accepted the schedule for the match, and that's why he didn't turn up. Now, the problem there is that when you are arranging matches in tournaments like this, and when you use the messaging system on Virtual Pool Online, if you don't have emails forwarded to you when players accept a schedule. You won't get a notification in your email, so you need to go into your profile and switch on the notifications. And clearly Mal hadn't done that, and that's why he never got an email, and that's why he never thought the match had gone ahead, which in the end was why he forfeited. So back to this match. It's now 10-6. Winkatme's got no shot in the 2. Although he's got a good safety on here. If he can tuck the cue ball in behind the 4. Well, it's used the 4 as a stopper. Winkatme can, Mofo can see an edge. Now that was supposed to be over behind the 7, and he's way short. And he could find himself in trouble this time. I think Winkatme's looking to see if he can punch the 2 behind the 3 and get it out of the way and bring the cue ball back across. Yeah, I don't think he could, so he's trying to play it delicate, but might have left a cut on. A little thin one, and he's probably going to hit that 5 as well, which might do him a favour and hold him for the 3. Oh dear, well, it's done him no favour at all. He's scratched off it. Oh well, you need that bit of luck. You don't need the bad luck when you're trailing 10-6. But it proves that you can't use any excuses when you're not getting the table time in. You've got to get the practice in. This game is like real life, or it's like any sport. I mean, if you're out of the game for a while and then you try to come back into it, you've lost all your touch. There's no magic wand when you come to the table, especially in a tournament. I mean, there's a fair few class players that still left in this tournament, and if you come up against one and you haven't been playing much and you haven't been getting the practice in, well, you're going to be laid bare. You're going to be found out. And the gap now goes to 5. Mofo's broke off. Couple of balls have gone down. He's got a simple little touch in the 1 just to nudge the 8 in. Now he needs to get the angle in the 3. You can't leave this straight because there's no way he's going to get up to the 4. So he needs to get high in the 3. And he's got higher. So now this is all about pace. If he goes forward, that 6 ball might be in the way. He's well away from the 6. And he's also going to have a nice little angle in the 4. Just nudge the 4 along the rail. Cue ball off the rail. Not behind the 9. He's okay. Well, you've got a choice, but my choice is to get the south side of this 6. Is to come that way, to leave the 6 in there, to drop through for the 9. But he's in that little sort of no man's land, but you can just draw off it. You can go that way, just a little draw, and it'll take you there. So a little draggy draw shot. You just need to punch the 6 in and avoid the scratch. You see, he got scared there about that, which is why he took it the other way to bring the cue ball across, and that's why he's hung up the 6. So it's another chance has gone, and these racks are running away now, and time is running out. Well, as the other thing is, Bill was exactly in the same position, Mr. Bill, in his first match against Albinario, and at 12-6 down, he was down and out, and he managed to battle his way back in it, and he won it in a final rack decider, 16-15. So it isn't all over till it's over. Who said that? The big difference between this match and Bill's match is that when Bill was getting in, he was taking his chances, he was running racks. Oh, good evening, Simon. I haven't got the notifications on the what do you call it, the timestamps. Hang on a sec. Well, I was on Discord with Boris yesterday, and Boris told me that what's his name, Harold, spoke to Boris and told him that I'm assuming he told him that, from what I gathered, he told him that Paul was found face down in his room, stone cold dead. That's all I've been told, and until I hear it from, I think Harold got a phone call, and I don't remember who it was from, whether it was from Paul's mum or dad, whether he was in touch with him at any time, but I think that's what happened. But until I speak to Harold, whenever I see him, I can't say anything 100%. Oops. Well, you never know, Simon. That's the thing. You never know. Everybody can look in the picture of health, but from what I gather, Paul wasn't exactly the picture of health, from what I was hearing. But it's another virtual puller gone, if it is true. So we're at 13-6. And we're really at the point of no return here for Mofo. He's got an open table. He has to run it. Well, he needs to get up the table for this 7 ball. And he also needs to get well up the table for the 8, because he needs to leave this 8 as simple as possible so he's not got too much angle to cut it, because that 9 is close to the rail. If he finishes away over on the right hand side of the table for this 8 ball, because the way the path of the cue ball's going, it's going that way and that way, unless he puts any sort of spin on it. He's tried to do the stunt, he's avoided the scratch, but you see he's still got this big cut, and he's got to control the pace in this, and he's way off, and that's what I was alluding to when I was talking about getting up the table. He actually stunned it across and left himself that nasty angle, and that's what done him again. So Winkatme's just picking Mofo off now. The mistakes are being made and they're being duly punished. So just 2 racks away. Well, that's a couple gone inside a year in Virtual Pool 4. Who knows, there might be others have gone that we're less familiar with. And this looks as if it's going to bank. No shot in the 2 though. But can he see an edge of it? No, he can't. He's going for a swerve. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, he's left a thin cut on, but it was a good attempt. It's a chance for Mofo again. Little thin cut in the 2, he should be on the 3. Needs to slow down a bit though, he's got too much pace in it. And that is a nasty 8 ball on that rail. And there's just a feather off the rail. Has he got to the 7? Yes, he has. So it's going to be a long 8 ball, provided he doesn't go up into that top right hand corner and scratch. Oh, he's played it with a lot of inside English. That was a good shot. Got the pace right because he was heading down that pocket. Well, the less we say about that one, the better. So Winkatme tidies up, and he's now sitting on the hill, needing one more. And Mofo breaks off this time. Something's gone in. Was it the 5 ball? Yeah, the 5 ball's gone. He's got a... Well, he's got a very thin cut in the 1, but not a great deal of hope of getting on the 2. Unless he avoids all the traffic at the top end of the table. A good one on the 2. But still out of line. What does he do now? Does he draw back and play an ambitious 4-8-9 combo, which is never set? Where's the cue ball finishing up? Well, the worst place it could. And that may well be his last shot. So it's ball in hand for Winkatme. Take the 4 into the left hand pocket, or is he playing the combo? What's the combo like now? Yeah, well, he could catch the edge of the 9. So Winkatme comfortably wins the match between him and MofoThePat. Wins it by 16 racks to 6, and we'll have a quick look at the bracket before we go and see how things shape up. Let's see. Get rid of that for a start. Right, let's have a look. So we have Mr. Bill through to round 4. And he's waiting in the winner of the match between Cue-Ball 70 and Yamaguchi Taru. We've got a match scheduled for tomorrow at 10 AM in the morning. Well, I won't see that because I'll be at work. Well, both players forfeited in that match, but Allergy was advanced. None of them showed up. Mr. Strokum's about set to play Z Karaoke. Veen Says is due to play Magician. They still haven't scheduled either. And Bedhead is going to play River City. That should be a good match. And finally, the match we've just watched, Winkatme and Mofo. Winkatme's through, and he will play the winner of Bedhead and River City. So whoever wins that is going to be playing Winkatme. So another good match. They're all going to be good matches as you get further on in the tournament, no doubt about it. So that's what's still to come. And with that, folks, it's going to be short and sweet, and a good night to you, and hope to see you again sometime.